Back again, we are, my friends. So far, what we've done for the creation of our dream house is we've made a full wall section. This is a small sample of it. We've made a door section, and the last thing that we're going to want prefabricated or pre-made is a window section. That way we can go around when you get your floor plans and add in all the doors and windows that your little heart desires. So let's get into making this. I'm going to start with the same basic shape as this door frame. So quick review, M control to make a copy, to move a copy, right arrow key to lock into an axis. All right, so here is our window, or at least I should say the start of our window. There's a little bit more freedom with window sizes for heights, lengths, and widths. But let's look up a general window measurement, 36 inches wide. Let's see what we get popping up. Okay, so this is telling us that standard sliding windows are 36, 48, 60, and 84 inches wide. So we can stick right with this 36. If you need a wider window, or if you have one, you can add that in. And also, the heights of the windows vary as well. So if we're looking at a standard size opening, that's the width, and the height's going to be 36 to 72 right here. So if it's going all the way to the floor, right, we could put the bottom or the sill plate here down a little further. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick with a nice 36 by 36 opening. What I mean by that is from this edge right here to this edge, we know that that's 36, okay? And I'm also going to come down from this edge right here, right from the middle of my header right here, down 36 inches, 36, enter. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to draw a line over here, and I'll explain in a minute what that line is going to go for. But just know it's going to be a reference point for us. So we have our rough opening, as we just briefly discussed. We're going to keep it 36 inches wide. That's a relatively standard size. And we're going to come down 36 inches as well. What I want to do is I need to develop a place for the actual window and the casing of the window to rest. And that's going to be your window sill here. So to do that, I'm going to have to first shrink this jack stud up to where I made that reference point. So the same way we did it for the jack stud for the doorway, we're going to do it for the jack stud for the window. And we're actually going to scale this by grabbing that middle toggle and coming right up to there. Ta-da! So that's one side. Now I can scale the other side. Middle, middle, end. I can scale the other side, ta-da, to there. And I don't need these lines anymore. If I needed a reference point, I can just use these 2x4s. So right now I have a jack stud on the inside here, a jack stud on the inside here. What I can do now is rotate a copy. So Q for rotate, left arrow key for the way mine's set up, and I want to click this outside corner right here. I want everything to pivot and spin around that outside corner. Whoops, I'm not making a copy. But in order to make a copy, all I have to do is press Control, and away we go. So there is my sill, and as you may have guessed, all I have to do is scale this middle out to this corner as a reference point. I can press spacebar to exit the command, and ta-da! There we are. That's how it looks. But wait, we're missing some stuff. What about the weight of the window over time on this? We don't want to rely just on screws going through this king stud into the sill plate. What we want to do is give it support. And the easiest thing to do here is we're going to take this. I'm going to hold Control. If you look closely on the side of that arrow, when I hold Control, this is one of the few times we'll hold, it's going to hold that plus mark next to the arrow. That's letting me know that I'm adding to the selection. So I selected this one first. Now if I hold Control and click this one, you'll notice both of them are selected. If I hold Control again and click, you'll notice all three. It's only when I'm selecting things that I have to hold Control to add it in. Okay? So one more time, make sure you're in the group. I'm going to select one of these cripples first, hold Control, click on the next one. You can let go if you want to. Hold Control, click on the next one. And hold Control and click on the last one. I'm going to press M, Control to move a copy, and I'm going to move the copy from this reference point right down. If I press the up arrow key, it'll lock into the blue axis. Right down to the top of this. Ta-da! Look at that. So now I have these four. The only issue is that these should be going all the way to the ground and not floating. So when I go to scale, I don't have to do them individually. I can do all of these at one time and scale these all the way down and use this bottom, this end point on the board, as a reference. So there we are. What do I have here, my friends? I have a framed out window. Wow. So right here's our window. And just like the door, this header is going to distribute the weight down to the jack studs, go through this sill plate directly down to the support underneath as well. All right. So these structures, these openings that we're creating can support just as much weight. They've been engineered, been thought about, just as much weight as if this was a traditional stud. So this window should not show any sag or any problems with weight distribution at all. So there we are. Oh my Lanta, what do you notice happened? I didn't make it unique first. Ah! So let's go back and do it again. Make sure if it was a component that you make this unique. So let's fly through this real quick. I'm going to come down. I'm going to enter the group first. I'm going to come down 36 inches on the blue axis. I'm going to take my first jack stud and scale, S for scale, K if we have to see through, okay. Spacebar to exit the command, S for scale, K if we have to see through, turning it on or off is still K. Come down to here, that's cool, that's good, that's great, that's grand, that's wonderful. Ah, it's not messing with my original, super dope. Now we're going to rotate a copy the same way we just did. Remember, we're going to grab this outside edge here. Oops. I done did messed up. I should have scaled this up from the bottom. That was the issue. So I'm going to go back to scale here. Let's scale this up to, there we go. And this one as well. S for scale, under the board, yada yada. There we be. Now I don't need this anymore. I can Q, Control, left arrow, and rotate this down 90 degrees. This trother mucker will get scaled to that corner. All right, so there we go. Looking good, looking good. We're going to hold Control and select all these short little studs along the top. M Control, so that way we know we got a copy of this thing. Press the up arrow key so it locks into that axis. And click. And this is where we can scale everything together. I hope you remember. S for scale, I'm still looking for the middle here. And all I have to do now is use this edge as my reference point. And now, finally, I have both the door and the window, and our wall section, and this is great. Go ahead and click save at this point. There's our window, there's our door, there's our wall. I'm going to stop this video right now. The next thing we're going to go back through real quick before we're done with all our prefabs is we're going to label everything. So go get your window done. Shouldn't take too long. And then come back so we can